What is going on, guys? This is Logan with West Desert Wheeler, and welcome to my 2022 year in review video. This one should be a pretty good time. The footage that you were checking out here is actually me battling with an obstacle that has still yet to be conquered. The car that I'm driving is actually my car that I used to show off my 3-link part from westdesertwheeler.com. The awesome part about the product that I offer is that it has no permanent modifications required. Now, when I was trying it with the Trooper Capra the other day, everybody mentioned that I should try and put dig in it and see if that makes the difference. The easiest way for me to get a Capra-based vehicle with dig in it, this car already had the transmission and the dig unit installed, so I just swapped the axles back to Capra, put rear steer on it, and there you go. This thing's ready to hit the rocks. So really cool that I can swap back and forth from a 3-link straight axle to Axial Capra axles, no permanent modifications necessary, and I think I did it in just under an hour, including all the electronics and setting endpoints. So that's what you guys are watching there. I'm out here on the rocks with my dog Sydney, as she is a big fan of going out RC crawling with me. I actually just celebrated crossing over the 2-year mark of being self-employed and creating content full-time here on YouTube. I also post a ton on Instagram, but YouTube is where the income comes from, right? You guys using the affiliate links, which there are a ton of you guys that do, and I greatly appreciate that. If you've never used an affiliate link, if you click on the affiliate link as you go through the site, you can buy anything you want through the site. As long as you started with that link, as you check out, it will kick me a couple bucks, and it's the store paying me. It's not you paying any different prices or anything. You can even buy stuff on sale through there, and I still get a little piece of it. It's how you can help support your favorite creators on here. Anybody with an affiliate link, I really encourage you guys to use. I mean, it really does help the creators there. This is not easy to do. It's not free to do, unfortunately. It takes fuel and time, and you know, there's a lot that goes into this. So supporting your favorite creators really does help out. And for the people who have supported me, I greatly appreciate it. You guys are largely the part of how I'm able to continue to do what I do, always being out here on the rocks. So a huge thank you to my audience for that. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Now, being a full-time content creator has its perks, and as we're going to go through the year in review, you're going to see that I've actually been able to travel a little bit and have a bunch of awesome opportunities to go out with people and hang out with friends and go to big events and do all I can to help bring you guys awesome content. So let's start it off, and I'm going to do this month by month. We're going to do about 3 or 4 things per month, and yeah, it should be a great time. I'm really looking forward to this one. I hope you guys enjoy it. So in January of 2022, number one biggest thing that happened to me in January is actually my son was born. This is actually my first child, and yeah, he was born in January, happy and healthy, and has been doing great ever since. He's coming up on 1 year, and I don't talk about him all that often, and that's purely just out of privacy for me and my family. That's it. I'm sure as he gets older, you guys will see him out there on the rocks with me, and I'm really looking forward to the day that that is possible. But my son Atlas was born in January, and he's been doing great. It's life-changing, I will tell you guys that. But getting back to the RC side of things, turning the page here, Tiger Capra back in January was just a kit, and I actually put rear steer on the car, so that was kind of a big change for that. Another thing that happened in January is I purchased a MOA, my RC 4-wheel drive Bully 2. That showed up in January, and then also, more cars coming to the fleet, I bought an Axial Bomber. The Axial Bomber is kind of getting phased out by Axial, and I don't believe that they're making any more to my knowledge. I might be wrong, but I picked one up before they disappeared because I am a big fan of the Bomber, and currently it's sitting on my shelf broken, but I'm just fine with that. I'm happy to have one here. That's all that matters to me. In February, this was a really cool event. There are the Salt Lake, Utah RC drivers. They call themselves the Sluts. So those guys came down and invaded Sand Hollow for the first time, and we went out with a big group, probably 20 to 25 people out there on the rocks RC crawling. It was a great day out there with all those nerds. Picked up Vanquish Capra housings for my Tiger Capra. My birthday is in February, so I treated myself pretty dang good on my last birthday there. And I'm still running those axles. Those things have been fantastic. Really like them. Lots of scratches on them by now, but totally worth it. Crazy strong. And I have not had any issues with them since. Then at the end of February, we announced the North vs. South Utah RC Crawling Championship, and the dates and whatnot were planned. At the end of February, the Rock Pirates RC SCX-10-2 that I had got a final refresh. I didn't know at the time it was going to be the final refresh, but the term Pirate Wagon was coined and the Pirate Wagon was born. Moving on into March, North vs. South RC Crawling Championship that myself and my buddy Luke, along with all the sluts and a bunch of people down south, all helped to make happen. That kicked off and we started an RC Crawling Championship that was going to span 3 months with a final in the end. And we're going to cover those through each month as we move through. So the first North competition was out there. It was in Little Moab, and it was rainy and cold, and it ended up snowing on us pretty bad on the way out. Great event. First event for the North went awesome. Down south, we took them out to the desert. I'm just calling it the Desert Red Rocks, but really great event as well. Had way too many people show up that I was not prepared for. Ended up without enough score sheets and all sorts of fun stuff. You know, the growing pains of learning how to run competitions. In March, we also saw the WDW merch drop with new t-shirt designs. Had 2 new designs come out in March. Those are still available, and I always leave a link in all my videos down below where you can check out the West Desert Wheeler merch. At the end of March, another cool, awesome release from Proline. The SCX6 gets Super Swampers. Great big Super Swampers, TSLs from Proline. And that's one of the major mods I've ever done to the truck, and it really changes the look. So definitely wanted to throw that in there. Moving on to April, North Comp Round 2 went out to White Rock Mountain, and my Tiger Capra actually got its first win in the Unlimited class. So that went pretty well for me. Awesome time out camping with everybody. In South, we had the Sand Hollow competition. Excellent event, excellent weather. Everybody came out, had a great time, and yeah, had an awesome time at the Sand Hollow competition for the North vs. South series. The West Desert Wheeler stickers showed up. For whatever reason, every time I order stickers, it's always just before a comp, and they show up the day after the competition. So the stickers showed up the day after the Sand Hollow comp, and that is where the sparkly slaps first showed up. It's kind of a joke between the people who actually have those stickers. The sparkly slaps phrase was coined, and it's lived on in infamy ever since. But I've had a ton of support, especially from the guys out in California running the sparkly slaps. So thank you guys very much. I really appreciate all those WDW stickers I see on people's RCs. The WDW Studio got its final shelving and lighting. A nice upgrade here in my studio that I film all my videos in and all my cars live in. Got some awesome shelves hung up there to display all my trucks and keep them out of my workspace as much as possible. So that's a huge benefit there. In May, the Axial Base Camp SCX-10-3 was released, and this is actually the first new release that I received a truck for the review from Axial. So that was kind of a big accomplishment for myself and the channel. Really excited on that, and it's been a great truck. Those base camps are super popular, and it's definitely one that I recommend currently. Yeah, mine is currently in the middle of a custom revamp build, which I definitely need to get moving on. It's been a while, but the SCX-10-3 base camp came out in early May, and was proud to be a part of that. That was awesome. North Comp Round 3 with Epic Camping. We gave away a full G-Shot custom build. Super awesome. Again, awesome weekend of camping up north. Everybody up north came out to the event. It was a great time. South Round 3 was at the airport. It was super hot. We had an awesome big raffle, and SkyRC donated a TRX 4 2021 Bronco that we gave away as a raffle prize to one of the competitors out at the event. Then at the end of May, we had the North vs. South finals where Rock Pirates RC came out. Absolutely epic camping all weekend. Fantastic turnout with friends all around, hanging out at the campfires at night, night wheeling. It was a little chilly at night, but rock crawling all weekend with a ton of friends, north and south combined. Everybody came together for an excellent event, and could not be more excited about how the whole North vs. South series went, and that was really just the cherry on top. What an awesome, awesome event, and we are looking forward to another one in 2023, so keep your eyes peeled as we will announce that soon. In June, things start to heat up here in southern Utah, so things slow down a little bit, but the Axial Capra takes its first official run, and there's a YouTube video out there on that. I made my first set of cut and shut tires myself. I tested out on some Axial Nittos, got those done, and then ended up trying a Proline crawler shortly after. The Traxxas Ultimate Hauler came out, and I went out and did a maybe it's a Matt's Off-Road Recovery knockoff, possibly. I don't say the name in the video, but you know, you can make your own assumptions there. Traxxas Hauler Recovery video was posted there, and it's been one of my most popular videos on the channel. People really seem to enjoy that one. Particularly where I'm driving along and my dog might have had to go to the bathroom right in the middle of it and is pooping in the background. Everybody really seems to get a kick out of that because I get a comment just about from everyone who watches it talking about the dog pooping. So thanks, Sydney. You really boosted the comment section there. In the end of June, Fabin 801 up near Cedar City, Utah. It's a little bit higher in elevation, a little bit cooler than where I am at. They had an RC trail meetup at the Gap is what we call it. And awesome time. A bunch of the sluts came down and met up there, as well as some people from the south. So again, north and south meeting up and hanging out. Always a great time with all the friends out on the rocks. And thanks to Thomas for organizing that and getting us all out there together. In July, we did some fun stuff here on the channel. Again, it's hot, but wanted to put together just kind of a portfolio of all the vehicles that I had at the time. And so I did a whole series on YouTube called Car Week, which is a bit of a misnomer because it's 10 videos and it took place over 2 weeks, and I was releasing a video every weekday. So that was pretty cool. There is a playlist on my channel if you want to go back and check out Car Week. I talk about every different aspect of each car and talk about all the upgrades and all the custom changes I've made to every car. So they're definitely worth watching while running on epic terrain. So Car Week was awesome. Another awesome thing that happened in July, this is a huge turning point for myself personally, along with the entire West Desert Wheeler brand and channel. I launched my website, westdesertwheeler.com, and I also launched my Capra 3-link bracket. Those are available still. I currently made out of stainless steel, laser cut, CNC bent, and really proud of that product. It's done pretty well. It's very niche, but you know what? It's out there. It's completely original, and I stand behind the product. It's been awesome, well received. I'm super happy with how that all went, but it's also the start of a small business for myself where I'm actually offering a product to you guys, and I have so much pride wrapped up in that. It's just awesome every time I ship one out. I'm filled with pride over it. I think it's awesome. Thank you guys so much for the support. Later on in July, we went out to northeastern Utah and went up to the Bald Mountain Comp, and at over 10,000 feet in elevation, nice and cool for July, and hanging out, driving RC cars with the guys from up north, super awesome. Late in July, I went with Fabin 801, Thomas yet again, and a bunch of our friends in full-size buggies. Went out and recorded a video on my YouTube where we go out and crush a canyon with white rocks instead of red rocks, and see some epic driving through some super gnarly terrain on just super capable cars. What a fantastic fun day that was. I walked 5 miles probably and survived on Mike and Ike's and probably some kind of chips or Cheetos or something. So having a great time out there, but that was an awesome epic one. Definitely wanted to throw that in there for July. In August, got my Rock Pirates RC Interceptor put together, and its first runs went out there and ended up running with Scumbag, who had come down for a visit, Scumbag RC on Instagram as well as YouTube, and Desert RC Cameron over there on Instagram as well as YouTube. Be sure to check both of those guys out. Whether you're on YouTube or Instagram, they're both worth a follow. They create awesome content. Moving on, 3-link Capra gets Vanquish Dana 44s, my second set of Vanquish axles. Those things are super nice, and for me, they're expensive. I know some people have all Vanquish everything. That's fantastic, great, but it's not often that I'm able to grab a set of those. So it had to make the list that I had gotten a set of Dana 44s, and they went on my 3-link Capra and are still there to this day. Really, really cool thing to witness. My RC Trail mousetrap is a very narrow, jagged, twisting and turning canyon out here in Sand Hollow, and I witnessed a real buggy drive through it, and it's called breaking a trail open when you drive through it for the first time. My buddy Brian out there in his 3-seat rear steer car, I mean, super capable car. It's not on portals. It's a V8 with 1-ton axles, badass rig, and we did it at night, no less. Brian did it. I just sat there and recorded, but there is a video where a full-size vehicle drives through my RC Trail mousetrap. Definitely worth a watch. And finally, at the end of August, the Chupa Capra gets some upgrades. I changed it out to a forward motor element transmission, and it gets some heavy torque from the Shift RC servos. So I'm still running that combo in the car today. Those Shift RC servos are fantastic. Absolutely some of my favorites. Be sure to check out Shift RC. In September, we hit the Radio Talk live streams pretty regularly and have continued to do so since just a little bit before September, but it's kind of where I threw it in. Radio Talk live streams on Instagram every Thursday at 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So be sure to tune in on Instagram if you're over there, where myself and Scumbag RC, and then we bring on a guest. We have 3 people on the live stream typically, and it's been awesome. We've had Sharif from Reefs RC, we've had Ryan from Shift RCs, we've had other content creators on, all sorts of awesome people, the Bone Box guys, and yeah, we've got more coming up. We got Randall from Axial. It's been fantastic. The Rock Pirates RC guys, tons of awesome guests, and they are still on my Instagram. You can go back and watch them. They're under the video tab on my page. September, we hosted a high-stakes invitational RC crawler competition where it was a $50 buy-in, and at the end of it, the winner walked away with over $700. Pretty damn awesome. Lots of awesome crawling there. Unfortunately, I did not do well in that competition, but I had a lot of fun seeing everybody and hanging out on the rocks. And you know, $50 buy-in, you don't want to mess up, adds the pressure on a little bit. Apparently, I couldn't handle it that day. Later on, we get the 5th Dimension Sporty, the Sucker Punch chassis, along with the Capra axles that it was sitting on and the hamburger transmission. I got it, threw some electronics in it, and started to get it tuned up for the upcoming Nationals event. At the end of September on YouTube, High Noon Hobby versus West Desert Wheeler Capra videos come out, and those are still live. You guys can go back and watch those, where High Noon Hobby and myself go against each other head to head on some cones and see whose rear steer Capra comes out on top. In October, the Sluts stop by yet again. Those guys love to come down and run on the Red Rocks, which is fantastic. I love that they are willing to travel and come down and hang out. It's always awesome getting to hang out with those guys. But they were on their way to Proline by the Fire. Super awesome trail run. Also went out to dinner with those guys. Super fun time. Always is with the Sluts. Unfortunately, I did not make it to Proline by the Fire like they did. However, I did make it out to Trail Hero, which is the next one on the list. My family always comes down and visits. Dave Wong wins Trailbreaker in an epic fashion, and just an awesome week of full-size rock crawling. Later on in October, I had a pretty stacked October. Fab and 801 and myself go to WRCCA Nationals and camp with Rock Pirates RC and compete in Sporty and 22 Pro. Epic fun wheeling all weekend, night wheeling. We had Randall from Axial out there. We had the Rock Pirates, we had the Bone Box guys, we had new people I'd never met. Epic time out there with all my friends, and a great mix of people that normally aren't all together at the same place. But on that weekend, we all were, and definitely one of my highlights of the year. Absolutely. Moving on into November, we had Monthly Mayhem Speed Phoenix Challenge, where myself, Scale Builders Guild, and Harley Designs, there is a whole list of them. We all put out our Monthly Mayhem on YouTube and had about an hour-long video each, where we try and get our straight axle Phoenix kits to go as fast as possible. Truthfully, I never anticipated doing as well as I did, so I mounted my body backwards, themed the truck like Tow Mater, and he is the world's fastest backwards driver. Amazingly got that truck ripping across the ground, and I'm not going to give away my final speed, but it was over 60 miles an hour, which is ridiculous because it was stock suspension. I put it on slicks and just let her eat. But Mater did awesome out there. Be sure to check that one out if you haven't seen it. VS410 hardbody Toyota build starts in November. Start accruing parts and starting to tinker with it as I go, getting wheels and tires sorted out and whatnot. We're going to talk about that upcoming. Started selling cut and shut crawlers, and man, they sell as fast as they can. November, I really started to lay into it and lean into buying a bunch of tires, selling batches of tires, and it's going really well. Still is, the cut and shuts are hard to keep up with, but November really started moving through them. Sky RC Battle on the Beach with Operation 11 Charlie. Battle on the Beach had full-size sand drags as well as RC sand drags. Super cool to see the bashers out there with 8 and 12S going head-to-head. People going crazy fast with their RC cars. We had 10th scale, 8th scale, and 5th scale drags. Super awesome to see, along with the full-size cars too, you know. I had side-by-sides out there, and also had some mud trucks with big screaming V8s, 600 plus horsepower. Super cool, and all that was for the Operation 11 Charlie charity, where we donated some money off to them. So super cool, great big raffle for everyone. Fantastic event, and looking forward to a future event. We also went out on the Fallen Trail, ended up driving Fabinato ones. Adam bought through a big obstacle. Connor with Rock Pirates RC came out all weekend, as well as Wyatt from Axial. Super awesome, epic weekend. Really, really high on my list of just epic weekends for the year. In December, started things off. Scumbag RC came down and helped me run a competition here in Southern Utah at the airport, where we did a Toys for Tots RC charity competition, where the entry fee was a toy to donate for local families in need for Christmas. So that turned out really awesome. Later on, we saw videos of Miles delivering big boxes of toys, as well as things that the family might need during the month of December, including gift cards for grocery stores to really just, you know, have a family all together, support our community, and you know, do what we can for the kids. So that was really awesome, and really cool to see those toys get delivered. We had a truck bed full by the end of that, so super cool, and really proud of that one. So that was Scumbag RC's idea, and we helped make it possible. So thanks, man. In December alone, I made more than 24 sets of cut and shut crawlers. So that's pretty wild. And a set is 4 tires, and it takes more than 4 tires to make a set of cut and shuts. So it's pretty wild. Lots of work, but you know what? Doing what I can to get those things cranked out, and yeah, that worked out really well. The website's been growing great, westdesertwheeler.com. I know most of the time they show that they are out of stock, but you know, I can only do so much, guys, but over 24 sets made in December. The VS410 Toyota debuts after many hours of building and painting, and man, was it worth it. Came out with an awesome 80s themed video where I shot it more cinematic, definitely something new for my channel. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and then we did a build breakdown on the end of it, talking about the VS410 chassis underneath with the, again, Vanquish metal straight axles. Those looked really awesome under that truck, perfect for the 1987 Toyota Extra Cab hardbody that ended up on top of that, using Shrink RC body adapters. My Capra Axle red chassis Rock Pirates RC Interceptor takes its first run. Super cool. That truck turned out awesome. It absolutely eats lines and didn't even require any tuning. It's just fantastic right out of the box. I ended up taking my G-Speed V3 apart and replacing the rails with the Rock Pirates Interceptor and a Vanquish Origin skid. So that one turned out really awesome. Getting back to the Radio Talk live stream, we had Josh from Harley Designs join our stream again. Lots of awesome guests. Josh joined us in the month of December. We really appreciate him taking the time out because he's constantly running live streams and creating content, and one of the most consistent posting people in YouTube, no doubt. And yeah, really appreciative of him taking the time to come and talk with myself and Luke from Scumbag RC. Finally, at the end of December, some time with the family and running the RCs on the rocks as always. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the full year of content. I've been all over the place, and I've had some absolutely epic times. The RCs have brought me together with so many new friends and old friends and family and all that. It's been fantastic. I'm really enjoying the ride. And here, celebrating the second full year of being independent, being able to do what I want to do. I've got a new product in the works for the website that I think is really going to be popular. I think it's going to do well. My first product was very niche, and I'm hoping that this one is less so. Really looking forward to bringing that to market. I have nothing more to say about it at this point because I would need to get it much further along the line, but expect that late January, maybe late February if things take a little longer than I think, which they usually do. But new parts in the works for westdesertwheeler.com. Really enjoying the small business that I'm running, really enjoying creating content, hanging out with you guys on Instagram, running the live streams on Radio Talk, having an overall great time. And I'm so thankful for all your guys' support. I hope you enjoyed the content in this video. Hopefully the voiceover overcame the disappointment of me constantly failing at this crack despite my efforts, trying over and over and over. That crack is going to have to get an epic name if I ever make it through the end of it. But I greatly appreciate your guys' time. We will see you in the next one. Keep the rubber side down.